Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. Steve Bellman here. Hey, today we are going to continue our Bass Rhythm Studies basic video series. And in this particular video, we're going to talk about displacement exercise. And it's going to be challenging, but it's going to help to develop our inner clock or our time. And basically, I'll explain exactly what we're going to do, but basically, we're going to say a phrase that each time we say it is going to displace the click by a 16th note. So every time we do this specific phrase that I'm going to give you, we're going to be displacing the click by a 16th note until eventually we'll come back and we'll resolve to the downbeat again. Okay. So again, this is going to be very challenging because we're not going to be using the click as a babysitter where it's showing us where all the downbeats are and we're playing on the downbeats. We're going to be playing actually against it as though it were another instrument. But again, this is a good way to develop our inner clock or our time. Okay? All right. So the phrase is going to be the phrase will be 8 bars. And after the eighth bar, on the ninth bar, we'll come down on the downbeat. And it's the beginning of another phrase. Okay? So there will be displacement throughout those 8 bars. After the last bar, the eighth bar, we come back down to beat one on the ninth bar. Now, with your metronome, it's a good idea to have the one accented, and we are in 4/4 time, so 4/4 time signature, have the one accented, so you can hear those downbeats as you're going through the exercise, but you can also hear the resolution as we come to the end of it. So this will be a fun exercise, but it'll be challenging. All right, so here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to play seven groups of 16th notes, okay? So 4/16 notes, so 7 groups of 4/16 notes. And instead of saying 1 E-enda, 2 E-enda, we're going to use the Indian counting. And I, explain all that in videos, that you have access to as well. So if you're not sure about that, you can always go back and visit those videos. But it's easy, and I'll kind of just, remind you of it or show you it now if you haven't seen the video. So for the 16 notes, we're going to say instead of 1 E-enda, 2 E-enda, we're going to say takadimi. Okay? So it's 4 notes, takadimi. That's going to represent the 16 notes. And there will be 7 of them. Then after those 7/16 notes, then we're going to use the grouping of takatakite. So 2 plus 3 is 5. So that creates a grouping of 5 notes. Now, we're not doing a quintuplet, you guys, so don't get confused. These are all 16th notes. We're just displacing the 16th note by actually adding that last group of 5 notes. It will displace it by 1/16 note. So 7 groups of takadimi, 1 group of takatakite. That is one phrase. And then we do the phrase again, and then we do the phrase one more time. The last time we do it, we're going to take out one of the takadimis. So there will be 6 groups of takadimis and then 1 takatakite. After that third time, we will resolve to the downbeat of the ninth bar. Okay? So it's pretty straight ahead. First, I want you guys to work on it, actually saying it with the syllables. And then once you get it, then you can take one note on your instrument, an open string or maybe a closed string, and just practice with one note playing through this example, this exercise as well. And you can play and say it at the same time if you want as well. But I would start with just saying it. And that's what I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so we're going to say it together. I'm at 57 beats per minute, you guys. Now you can go faster than that. You can go slower than that. Whatever works for you, but I would start at a tempo where it's comfortable, okay? So let me show you what we're going to do, okay? So I'll show you which grouping we're on with my left hand as we do this. And then you'll hear at the end, as we go off the click, you'll hear at the end the resolution. So here we go. I'll give you 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Takadimi, 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 takadimi. Takadimi, takataki, te takadimi, 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 takataki, te takadimi, 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 takadimi. Takataki, te takadimi, 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 takataki, te ta. So you can see that the second time, and actually, you guys, I said 3 times. We're actually doing it. We're actually doing it 4 phrases. But you can see after the first time, the second time we do it, we're off by a 16th note because of the takatakite. And the last time as well, we're off by a 16th note. The first time we do it, we're off the beat, first beat by a 16th note. And the last time we do it, we're before the downbeat on the 16th note. So those 2 times it gets pretty tricky because again, we're really upside down and we have to keep our place in the grid. Even though we're not playing with the click, we still have to be playing in the context of the 16th notes, or what we would call the grid. We have to be on the grid for that to come out right at the end. Okay? All right. So again, practice that by saying it first, and then I want you to practice it on your bass. Let's do the second example. So the second example is the same concept, but we're going to start out with using eighth notes now. So instead of takadimi for the eighth notes, we're just going to say ta, ka, ta, ka, ta, ka. So there's going to be 6 of those, 6 groups of takas, and then we'll do 1 group of takadimi, and then we'll do the takatakite. Okay, so the takatakite you're going to see is always in the same place. We're just changing a little bit what's before it. Okay, so 6 times of eighth notes, ta, ka, 1 16th note, takadimi, and then takatakite. Here we go. The same resolution will happen. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta ka ta ka ta ka ta ka ta ka ta ka takadimi taka taki te ta ka ta ka ta ka ta ka ta ka ta ka takadimi taka taki te ta ka ta ka ta ka ta ka ta ka ta ka takadimi taka taki te ta ka ta ka ta ka ta ka ta ka ta ka taki te ta. So again, on that one, I did 6 groupings of the taka and I left that 7th takadimi out. And then so 6 groups of takas, taka takite, and that brought me to the downbeat of the 9th bar. All right. So again, practice that. Sorry, I got to turn the page. Practice that with the syllables first, and then try to apply it to one note on your instrument. And when you play the one note, make sure that you're accenting. Whenever there's a ta, you want to accent that because that's going to give you the subdivisions. If you just hit them as 16 notes, then it's not going to feel right. So make sure you're hitting those tas, you're accenting them. Okay, the last one we're going to do, we're going to include a quarter note now. So what we're going to do is there's going to be 4 quarter notes. And with the quarter notes, we're just going to say ta. Okay? Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, we'll go ta, 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 ta. There will be 4 of those, 2 of the 8th notes that we just did, and then 1 16th note, and then taka takite, the 5 grouping. So again, the 5 is staying exactly in the same place. It doesn't change. We're just changing the beginning of the phrase. That's it. Okay? So here's the click. Here we go. 1 and at the end, we're going to get rid of the takadimi. So again, the last time we do it, we're not going to say takadimi. So it's going to be 4 tas, ta, 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 then 2 taka, 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 and then taka takite. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Ta, 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 ga, taka, dimi, taka, taki, te, ta, 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 taka, dimi, taka, taki, te, ta, 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 taka, dimi, taka, taki, te, ta, 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 taka, taki, te, ta. Now, again, the last one is tricky, and the second one as well, because of the space of the eighth note, and especially this one, the space of the quarter note. When you're doing all 16 notes, it's challenging, but you're singing all the notes. But when you're doing these two, there's so much space, especially when you do it the second time and the last time. When you do those where it's off the 16th note, that's where it gets a little bit tricky. And those are the ones that are going to take a little bit of time. So be patient with yourself. But with practice, you're going to end up getting it. And I really think that the syllables do help as you're playing these. That's why I want you to do those first. Okay? So I hope that helps. Again, this is something I'm still working on. All of these kind of rhythmic things that I'm giving you guys, this is stuff that I'll be working on until the day I die, and probably you as well. But that's the good thing, is that they're, when you do them, they're constantly sort of helping your time and helping your inner clock to develop, to be strong, so that you're not as reliant on a click or in real life situations, a drummer, but that the time is coming from within you. Okay? So I hope this helps. Work on them, enjoy them, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.